Small Cap Power, we're joined by Bruce Campbell, founder and portfolio manager of StoneCastle Investment Management. Bruce, pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Bruce, those who are not familiar with your fund, give us a sense of what the fund is about. What's your guiding principles at the fund, and what's your investment process?
Yeah, so we have a couple different parts of our process. The first part is a top-down strategy. We're always trying to figure out whether or not we're on offense or defense at any given time. We've got a number of different economic and market indicators that we use that help us to guide that. So we talk about being on offense, in neutral, or on defense, depending on how those different indicators adjust. And then the bottom up, we look at individual stocks. So we're looking for companies that have some sort of catalyst in their business that's going to really accelerate their earnings either immediately or in the sort of near-term future.
So as we move closer towards the legalization of cannabis this year, what's your view on the market? And you have been impressed by some companies in this space like Organigram and Haiku Brands.
Yeah, so the first step in the process is really moving towards a legalization. Once we get that, then I think that's going to probably be the next leg up for a lot of these stocks. What we're starting to see now, though, is there a real difference in companies as far as how they differentiate themselves by brand, by product, and also by geography. And so, the two companies that you mentioned there are two that we still continue to like. So Organigram is out on the East Coast, and they really own the East as far as what they're doing. But it looks like they're also expanding into some really interesting other opportunities. We haven't seen a lot yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some international announcements in their last fundraising when they did their convertible debenture. They specifically talked about the use of proceeds being international expansion. So there's a lot of companies looking at that. If you look at the straight branding side of things, that's really where Haiku comes in. At the end of the day, this is going to turn out to be a branded product like everything else. Right. Haiku has an excellent management team that's really focused on trying to differentiate themselves on brand and do unique things that no one else is doing in the sector.
Now we know that the small cap health tech space is one that excites you a lot, and companies like Relic Health and Beware Technologies feature in your top 10 holdings. What are the growth stories for these two companies, and any others that stand out for you?
Yeah, so Relic has a very unique technology. They basically allow for home monitoring for healthcare and then reporting back to the healthcare team, if that's a doctor, if that's a family. They've been signing contracts in the US and bringing on new clients. The company's really gone from the point where it was a concept to now where they're signing on new clients and getting cash flow positive, and they're going to continue to increase that. It seems like the CEO has actually been conservative with her numbers as far as what they've told us they're going to hit versus what they're hitting. So it's pretty exciting to watch. It's one that I don't think probably lasts that long. At some point in time, it's going to get taken out by a bigger company. Beware is in the asset tracking business. So they have two different models of their asset tracking devices. So they have a Bluetooth, which was sort of the introductory model. And now they're getting into a full low-powered wireless device. So this is going to be sold by all the wireless networks in the US, and that's really where their growth is going to be quite explosive. So the back half of 2018 should be quite exciting for them as the cell phone companies down in the US, the big carriers, start to buy their product and then sell it out. And of course, they're getting paid on a recurring revenue basis for each device that they have out on the market.
Okay. Any others in the niche that stand out for you?
Well, another small healthcare company that's pretty interesting is Centric Health. So they have sort of two divisions. They have their specialty pharmacy, and then they have their surgical centers. The surgical centers, we think that there's going to be longer term opportunities there as maybe we move more towards a privatized healthcare system where you can see surgery on a private basis. But the sort of near term opportunity really comes from their specialty pharmacy. So they continue to bring on more long term healthcare beds into their system. And of course, they get paid a dispensing fee, and then they make a margin on the prescriptions that they sell. They also have an in-house product now. So, anyone who's got older parents has probably seen them each week, filling those little pill boxes with their pills. Yeah. Well, they have a new product that's going to be coming to the market that really uses technology. So, it'll come from the dispensary, and it'll automatically be bundled into how many pills they need at each time. The machine itself will tell them and prompt them when to take it, because probably one of the biggest reasons that seniors get admitted to hospital is because they've taken the wrong medication at the wrong time or not taken their medication at all. So this is going to be an in-house product. They'll again get paid, to sell the product. But the big thing will be the recurring revenue. When people get their prescriptions filled using the system, they'll get paid a dispensing fee and then make a margin on those prescriptions. So that's going to be, sort of their high growth opportunity in the last half of 2018 going into 2019.
Those are wonderful insights. Thank you so much for your time, Bruce.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me in.